Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my channel. Today is my part 2 of my 2017 beauty favourites, and this one is of course focused on more affordable makeup, drugstore / high street makeup. Most of these things are going to be from the UK, but there's a handful of things in here which are from the US drugstore, and of course I will link below all the sites that I use to get my hands on these. There's quite a few things to show you here, but I guess I want to start off by talking about my makeup collection as a whole. And I have to say, I probably have like 60 to 40% high-end to high street makeup. I really do think that there's some items which are worth investing in and paying a bit more for the extra quality. One of those things is concealers. I will talk about a concealer in this video, but nothing really does compare to my Kevin Aquan Essential Skin Enhancer. The pigmentation and the quality of that is just amazing, and I haven't found anything that compares. So that's the sort of thing I would spend my money on. And also foundations. I have a lot more high-end bases in my collection than high street bases, mainly because a lot of the high-end brands are more willing to spend more money on making more shades for women of colour, whereas a lot of the high street brands just tend to have a very limited shade range still, and I'm hoping 2018 is the year that changes. There are a couple of bases in here though, you'll be pleased to know, so I have had some success in finding some really good base products from the high street. Then on the other hand, there's products from the high street which I would only ever purchase, and I'd never spend like more than £10 on a mascara. For me, it's just not worth it at all. I feel like if I want my lashes to look really, really good, I'll probably put on a pair of falsies now. I'm getting more and more confident as time goes on with false lashes. So yeah, there's a real mix in my collection, and I hope you watch both videos so you can get an accurate representation of all the products that I really recommend to you guys. I hope that you discover some things that you want to try out in 2018, and I really hope you love them as much as I do, because these are like the cream of the crop, like the best of the best. So let's start with bases as usual. I'm going to talk about an American base first. This is the Wet n Wild foundation, the photo focus one, and I had the shade Golden Beige here. This is amazing. It's like $6 or $7, which equates to about £5 in UK currency. And I just cannot get enough of it. First of all, the shade is brilliant for me. I'm wearing it today, and actually I feel like I'm looking a little bit washed out on the camera, but that's probably because I'm wearing so much yellow and there's so much yellow going on behind me. Yeah, this is just one of my most perfect shades. It's actually a really close match to my Makeup Forever foundation, and the formula of this is beautiful. It literally blends into the skin so nicely. It looks like skin. It's a little bit more dewy than I would typically go for, but I do tend to set this with powder, and it has a really nice coverage. It's like a medium to buildable coverage, and the shade range is really, really good. I'm such a big fan of this, and if you haven't tried this yet, you definitely need to in 2018, because it's a foundation that I would pick up again and again. It's really, really good for every day, but also it does photograph really nicely as well. Now, I did say in my high-end video that I wasn't going to be talking about products that I picked up in the last 2 months, but I could not make this video without mentioning the Nip and Fab foundation. This is very new to my collection, but I absolutely love it. The shade is really, really spot on for me, and the formula is beautiful. It reminds me of the MAC Face and Body Foundation, which is a base I used to use years and years ago before I started boycotting MAC, and I just think it's amazing. The coverage is like medium, and that's what I personally love. It's a dewy finish, and it lasts really well on the skin for me. The bottle looks titchy, but it actually has 30 millilitres of product in here. Nip and Fab consistently have decent sales on their sites, especially recently, obviously with like Black Friday and Boxing Day, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be picking up a couple more bottles of these in 2018, because it's such an affordable base and it just ticks so many boxes for me. So those are two foundations that I would reach for on a day-to-day basis. However, when it comes to going out makeup or wedding makeup, there's only one foundation that has really massively impressed me from the more affordable side of things, and that is the Mehron HD foundation. I have to give a massive shout out to Anika Beauty for this one, because she was the first person who I remember talking about it, and she reviewed it, and she has posted the most beautiful, flawless photos of her using this, and it's just incredible. This little pot here is a cream foundation, which is quite new to me. I don't have a lot of cream foundations, but because of the formula and the consistency, I find it so easy to blend in. It's pretty full coverage actually. I do tend to colour correct a little bit, but it's pretty full coverage, and the amount of shades out there is brilliant. Now the only problem that I'm having at the moment is the seller I used to buy these is no longer selling them, unfortunately, so I'm really hoping that I can find a reputable seller to get my hands on more of these. I always use these when I'm doing makeup and my mum's makeup for weddings, and I think our skin looks really beautiful, it photographs amazingly, and these are again really affordable. I've reviewed all the shades that I have and swatched them, so I will leave the link below to that if you're interested to find out more. But I really think this is one of the most underrated bases out there, and I feel like if you're looking for a foundation for special occasions, something that's a little bit more heavier but that will make your face look absolutely beautifully flawless, then you definitely need to check out the Macaron HD base. Alrighty, moving on to concealers and correctors. Like I said, in my high-end bases, the only correctors that I personally swear by are from the Highstreet, honestly. And my all-time favourite this year has definitely been the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Concealer. This is like the 3-in-1. So you get a powder, and then you get a concealer and a corrector. Now the corrector is what I absolutely am obsessed with. I have gone through one of these already, and I have two as a backup. I get them every time they're on for 3 for 2 sales now, because I know it just works for me. The shade of this is perfect, and I really wish Soap & Glory would come out with a corrector by itself, because I would stock up so much. I don't tend to use a concealer that much. It's a little bit light and a little bit more pink for me, which is not ideal. And the powder, the setting powder is okay. It's a little bit too white for me again. However, the corrector in this one, and this is a shade medium, is just the best corrector I've ever come across. It's a perfect peachy salmon-y colour, and I just love it. I can wear it by itself if I'm going for really minimal makeup and just apply that and then set it with powder. But more often than not, I will put this on and then I'll put my concealer over the top, and I will have the most flawless under eyes. And like I said, concealer-wise, there's nothing that really compares to the Kevyn Aucoin. However, if I had to pick one concealer from the more affordable side of things, it would still be the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is in the shade Creamy Beige, and it has a really nice peachy undertone. So when you apply it, it does a really good job at hiding or disguising dark circles. I have quite a few different shades of these. Actually, my review of the LA Girl concealers is one of the first that comes up when you search it on Google, which is so cool. And I have loads of shades of these. I really like these for cream contouring as well. And for £5, you really cannot go wrong. Again, face powder wise, my favourite is a high-end one. Watch my last video to find out which one that was. But in terms of yellow powders for setting under the eyes, I have not found a powder from either end that's better than this. This is a Wet n Wild contouring palette in the shade Caramel Toffee, and I've actually done a comparison post between this and the Marc Jacobs one on my blog, so I'll leave that link below. I can't open it because unfortunately the little bit of powder that was left has cracked and it's like falling over and making a big mess, but this is the most perfect yellow shade ever. If you have a medium olive skin tone, you're looking for a really good yellow breasting powder, you need to get your hands on this. I'm not such a big fan of the bronzer. It's okay, it's a little bit too warm for my liking, but the yellow powder is fantastic and I'm looking to stock up like ASAP. The bronzer of 2017 for me was definitely Topshop's Mohawk. This is what it looks like, and I'm so happy I discovered this year because it's like my perfect bronze. Again, if you have a similar skin tone to me, if you're Nasha and Bowley, then I think you should try this out. It's totally matte, and it's just that perfect balance between being warm enough to actually warm your face up, but then also being able to give you a little bit of a contour as well without really trying. 2017 was a year that I just stopped contouring. The only time I really contour is if it's a wedding or I'm doing like heavier makeup, but this has been like my go-to, and I just use the 3 motion around my face and I absolutely love it. I've actually nearly hit pan on this one, and then I found 2 more like full sizes of this in TK Maxx for a reduced price. I mean, this is pretty affordable already, so I could not resist picking up those as backups. Moving on to blushes, there's quite a few actually from the drugstore that I would recommend, and obviously I'm going to start with the OGs. This is a blush by 3 in the shade Sugar, and I just think these are brilliant. I mean, I've had these for the longest time and they really haven't changed in quality at all. The products from the Sleek line are designed with women of colour in mind, and as you can see, the shades are just beautiful. I mean, in this one you've got 2 matte shades and then like a shimmery one. I love to mix and match these, dip my blush in all 3, and just apply it to my cheeks, and I feel like the quality of these is pretty comparable to NARS. The wear time is not as good obviously, and it's a little bit more chalky and powdery, but for the £10 price tag for 3 blushes, you just cannot go wrong. I also really have to give a shout out to my favourite shade. This is Suede, and it's just the perfect like barely there blusher. It's completely matte again, and I have nothing like this from my whole blush collection. The mini ones are like £4.90 I believe, so again just such good value for money, and it has a little mirror as well, which is just amazing. I love it. I always travel with these, they're just fantastic. My voice went really high there, didn't it? Okay, I have to give a really quick little shout out to the Rimmel Lasting Finish Soft Colour Blushes. These are like £2 or £3, they're so affordable and they're so diddy. This is what my one looks like, and I've actually gone for a whole pan of these. This is one of my first ever blushes and I still love it, which I think says a lot. It's again one of those blushes which you cannot go wrong with because you can't over apply it. This one in particular is in the shade 02 Pink Rose, and it just gives you that perfect like just been outside and I've got a little bit of a flush to my cheeks look. Again, this is another product which I have only discovered recently, so should I be talking about it as my 2017 beauty favourites? Yes, because it's amazing and nothing has compared to it. This is the Nip and Fab Liquid Gold, and this is in the shade Rose Gold. Shout out to Safia for reviewing these and talking about these, because she's the one who encouraged me to purchase it and I have not looked back since. It's basically a dupe to the Cover FX ones, but they're like 30 odd quid and this is around £10 to £12. I got this on sale as well, so it was even more better value for money. Even more better, like my grammar is so great right now, but it's such good value for money and I love this. And today I'm wearing it on top of my moisturiser and underneath my foundation, and I'm also wearing it on top of my cheekbones as a base for my highlights. There's so much you can do with liquid illuminators and I just think that everyone should own this really. So in my high-end favourites I talked about my favourite glitters, which were the Stila ones, and my drugstore version of these are the Certify ones. These are about £5 a bottle, which is amazing value for money because you literally only need the smallest amount every single time. I'm sure this bottle is going to last me like a good couple of years, to be honest. And I have this one and a gold one, and I absolutely love the brand Certify. It's created by an amazing entrepreneur and businesswoman called Aisha, and I've been following her for quite a while now, and I've seen her business grow from strength to strength, alhamdulillah, and I'm just so happy to be supporting her. And her glitters are amazing. Do not ever try and put like normal glitter on or even nail glitter on around your eyes because they can be really sharp and dangerous and actually cut your eye. These are perfectly safe. I have tried glitters this year from another small brand. I'm not going to mention it because I'm not about bashing small independent brands at all, but let's just say that glitter had nothing on Certifies. So if you're looking for a really good quality loose glitter, I definitely recommend them. A category I didn't discuss in my high-end favourites was eyelashes, because that's again something that I would never spend a lot of money on. There are so many amazing eyelashes available on eBay and AliExpress, and I have built up quite an extensive collection this year, and I'm just so happy that I've discovered eyelashes properly this year and had a bit more confidence with them, because they literally elevate a makeup look from like a 2 to an 8. I have been loving eBay lashes. These are just an example of some of the ones that I really like. They're so affordable and they are really easy to reuse, and the band is not too thick as well. I feel like the more you practice, the easier it becomes. And in my last video I talked about eyeshadows quite extensively, and like you probably know by now I have a huge single shadow collection. I feel like I say that in every single video. I totally understand if people don't want to be collecting their own single shadow collection because it's an expensive thing to start building up. So if you're looking for a really good affordable palette which will take you from day to night and which will last you for a really long time, and you're looking for quality, I massively recommend the Zoeva Cocoa Blends palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. It basically has every single shade you need, especially as more of a beginner's makeup, and this is probably my most used palette of 2017, along with the Modern Renaissance, but this is like more than half the price. So I just think the quality of these shadows are fantastic. They're not the most pigmented, but they're pigmented enough. They blend really easily, and you have a really nice mix of mattes and shimmers in here. I actually used all this makeup around me to create this makeup look. So my face is totally like Drugstore and Highstreet, and I use this beautiful shade called Pure Ganache all over my lid. I did use a base underneath it, but I do think it's absolutely stunning. Another palette that I've been loving in 2017, and I only picked it up quite recently, is again from the amazing brand Certify, and this is a Tropical Wonders palette. I've shown it on my channel before, but just take a moment to appreciate the beauty that is this palette. These shades just spoke out to me because I'm not going to be spending £5 per shadow like for my single shadow collection with these kind of colours. I would not use it enough, and it's just not worth my money. However, to have all these shades together in one palette is just amazing, and the quality of these shadows is brilliant. Like, the pigmentation is so good. I literally just need to pack my brush on once or twice and that's it, I'm good to go. And it has pretty much every single shade that you could ever need. It's got a rainbow of shades. So I am just loving this, and I'm so happy I picked it up, and it's pretty affordable for the amount of shades and the quality that you get as well. Moving on to eyeliner, it's again a category that I would not spend a lot of money on. Eyeliner and mascara lashes, you can definitely get them from the Highstreet or the Drugstore, and the first one that I'm going to recommend to you, unfortunately I don't have it anymore, I've used it up and I've got rid of it, but I will be repurchasing it in 2018, and that is a Topshop liners in general, especially the Magic liner. It's the most beautiful pen ever. It's so pigmented, so black, and it lasts all day long, and it's really comfortable to wear as well. Another liner that I've been loving in 2017 is the Collection Extreme 24-Hour Felt Tip Liner, and it looks like this. Now, before I go on to rave about it, the only thing I don't love is that the tip is not the thinnest. So if you're like a beginner to makeup or a newbie to eyeliner, it might not be the easiest to get a grasp around. However, because I'm so used to wearing eyeliner and like my wing liner is kind of like my everyday go-to look, I've become really used to this, and I just find that it lasts such a long time. It lasts as long as I need my makeup to be on for. Very affordable. It doesn't irritate my eyes, unlike the Fast Stroke liner, which is the one in the Pop By collection. That kind of stings my eyes sometimes, and I'm not sure why. This, on the other hand, doesn't at all, and it's so easy to remove when I want to remove it, but at the same time it doesn't flake off or smudge off or anything. So I'm a really big fan of this, and I probably will be picking more up in the future. Alright, so a topic which I'm really passionate about is mascara and not spending a ridiculous amount of mascara. Now, I have tried mascaras from Benefit, from Tarte, from Charlotte Tilbury, from Chanel, and nothing ever comes close to the mascaras by Essence. I mean, seriously, these are the best mascaras on the whole market, and they're less than £3. They're about £2 to £4 each, which is insane. This one is a Lash Princess mascara, and it's probably the one that I've used the least so far, but it's absolutely lovely. I find that it lengthens and it also thickens the lashes as well, and the way that the brush is designed means it can coat all the lashes really well. Sorry, I should hold it over here so you can see, and it's got a kind of a curved design. It just is so good. My all-time favourite mascara from Essence is the I Heart Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara, and this is what the one looks like. It's very basic, it's got very tiny little bristles, which means it grips onto every single lash, and when you have lashes like me where they're not particularly long or thick, you need all the help you can get, and this really does give you that. It's amazing, especially I find like after like a week of use, when it's slightly dried out a little bit, then you kind of start seeing the real potential. And the best mascara on this whole planet for your lower lashes is the Essence Maximum Definition Volume Mascara. Again, I'll just show you the brush. It looks like this. It's a smaller version of the I Heart Extreme one. It's got flexible bristles, and they're tiny, which means they grip onto every single lower lash that you have over there, and it's amazing. Honestly, it does not flake, it does not smudge, it lasts all day long, and it's just brilliant. It's so much better than any other mascara I've ever tried, and this is the only mascara I'll ever use on my lower lash line. I just love them so much, and you can tell I'm getting pretty passionate, and I know it's just mascara, but it's just crazy to me how some people are genuinely spending like £20 plus on mascara when you can get probably better quality mascaras for like less than a fiver, less than your coffee. It's just insane to me. So if there's one thing that you try out in 2018, it has to be the Essence mascaras. These three in particular are the ones I really recommend, and also the Rock and Doll one, that's really beautiful as well. There's maybe one mascara from them that I've tried that I don't particularly care for that much, but that's it. I mean, these are definitely amazing and I highly recommend them. Another fairly recent discovery is the Sleek IR Precision Liquid Eye Colours. I have two of these, but I've actually ordered 3 more different shades in the recent sales. I just think they're brilliant. Basically, it's got a little brush and you brush the colour onto your lids. It's so easy. So what I tend to do is I tend to put some browns into my crease first, and then I just apply this into the inner corner and all over the lid. And then I'll either leave it like that or I'll pack shadow on top. And that's what I did today actually. I packed on that golden shadow from the Cocoa Blends palette, and I feel like it's given it such a beautiful base and like a new lease of life almost. So yeah, these are really worth checking out. I'm moving on to brows. Now in my high-end video I said there's nothing that beats the ABH brow pomade for me, because that's the best pomade that I've ever tried. I've tried the cheaper alternatives from quite a few other brands and I'm not a fan. However, there are other products from the Highstreet and Drugstore which are brilliant for the brows, especially if you're not going for the whole pomade look. For example, this is the Freedom Duo Brow Powder in medium brown, and I also have the dark brown one. It's a blatant rip-off of the ABH one basically, but for such a much cheaper price. It's got a little mirror in there as well. You use a lighter shade for the front of your brows, darker shades for the definition, and Bob's your uncle really. It's amazing. It's not going to last you all day obviously because it's a powder, unless you set it in place. But yeah, I'm a really big fan of this and I would pick this up again. I also really like the kind of brown mascaras that have tiny little fibres, and these are 2 of them. The first one is the Essence Make Me Brow. It's a dupe to the Benefit version of the Gimme Brow. It's got tiny little fibres, the smallest little ones as well. Basically it just makes your eyebrows look a bit thicker and fuller and more realistic, so I really recommend that. Again, like 2 or 3 quid, like you cannot go wrong. And this is the Kiko version. This is the Kiko Fibres Coloured Mascara, and I had the shade 05. I mentioned it in my August favourite. Yeah, it's a similar situation to the Essence one. I feel like 05 is the best colour for me, and I really enjoy this. I could literally talk for ages. It's so sad, but I could literally talk for ages about how much my brows irritate me and irk me, but these little mascaras with the little fibres honestly like save the day all the time for me, because they kind of fix up the bad jobs that I do with my brows. So yeah, if you haven't tried these before, I definitely recommend giving them a go. And finally, a brow wiz dupe. This is the Colourpop brow pencil, and this one in particular is in the shade Black and Brown, but I also have Bangin' Brunette. I know Colourpop is not as easy to get your hands on in the UK as it is in the US, but there are definitely ways about it, and I definitely still get my Colourpop fix every single year. But anyway, this is just really nice. I love the spoolie on it, it's perfect, and the formula is good as well. It's not too creamy, and it's also not too waxy where you have to like really draw and carve on your brows almost. I feel like this gives you a really realistic feathery effect, so I do recommend their brow pencils, and for $5 you really can't go wrong. I also really love the Topshop Glow Pots, and this particular one is in the shade Polish, but I really like Gleam as well. Basically it's a cream highlighter and it's perfect. I literally just take my ring finger, dab a little bit in, and dab it on top of my cheekbones, and it never ever looks like I've got glitter on my face or it looks over the top at all. It just looks so beautiful, and I cannot get enough of these. And I have to say most of my highlighters are from the high end because I just do prefer them in general. But again, with the Topshop, this is the Topshop highlighter in Sunbeam, and I also like the more rose gold version of this. Basically this to me is like a dupe for Fenty Trophy Wife. If I just show you guys, it's got that beautiful like yellowy goldy look to it. I mean, it's not as golden as Trophy Wife, but it's stunning, and because it's a baked formula it means that it's just going to glide onto the skin, blend so easily, and it's just going to look really, really beautiful. I've got it on today and I feel like it gives me a sort of more lit from within look rather than loads and loads of highlight look. So I'm a massive fan of these, and you can actually sometimes find these in TK Maxx. I don't know if they're discontinuing it, I really hope they're not. But I got this from TK Maxx for like £5, which is just like such a great bargain, honestly. I have 2 favourite brands who do lip liners in the drugstore, and the first one is Rimmel. I do like their twist up liners, however my all-time favourites are their Lasting Finish range, especially the shades Spice and Tiramisu. I've just picked up backups of them, that's how much I love them. This is a pencil you have to sharpen, but I don't find that to be a problem at all because it's just got the perfect formula. Like, it's not too creamy where it doesn't stay in place, and I can slightly overline my lips with it, and the shades are just beautiful. And they're £3 each, which is amazing. Another brand which I'm slightly obsessed with at the moment for lip liners, and I've actually loved this for about 3 years now, is the Jordana Easy Liner for Lips, and this one is in the shade Tawny. I think you can now get this on Beauty Bay, which I'm so happy about. And this is one of those twist up pencils, and it's a perfect My Lips Look Better shade. Slightly darker than my natural lip shade, which means I can slightly overline it. It lasts a really long time, and it just gives my lips proper definition. And again, it's incredibly affordable, so if you're looking for some decent lip liners, go either try Rimmel or try the Jordana range, because these are really, really good. I tried quite a few different powders this year, and nothing pressed powder wise has massively stood out to me. I mean, there's a few I've tried recently, so you know that it might be creeping up into my favourites, but there's nothing from the drugstore yet that has like wowed me. However, in terms of setting powders and loose powders for baking, I've been loving mixing the Primark setting powder and the Makeup Revolution Banana Powder Dupe. This is a little bit too yellow on its own for me, and this is a little bit too light, so together they're just perfect. Yeah, I'm really, really enjoying them, and I don't see why you have to spend a lot of money on loose powders, because these do the exact same thing, especially for like baking. I don't have a favourite lipstick from the drugstore. There's quite a few that I own, but there's not one that really stands out to me. However, I'd say my favourite lip product from the drugstore has definitely been the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lips. They are just the most stunning formula ever. I have like 5 or 6 different shades actually. I've got Strip here, Echo Park, which I've got a backup for coming, and Calypso. They are perfect, they just last such a long time, but they're not as long lasting as mattes obviously. However, they're also not drying. They're creamy, they don't slip, they don't transfer too much. I'm wearing the shade Calypso on my lips right now, and I just adore them. The pigmentation is fantastic as well. And yeah, I definitely want to pick up more of their shades of these. Lip gloss wise, I've been loving the Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip in WeHo. It's so opaque and so pigmented, which I didn't expect at all, but it's also not overly sticky and it's really comfortable to wear. So I'm definitely, again, wanting to pick up more of their lip glosses, and I think I've ordered a few in some of the sales that are slowly making their way to me from the US. Another lip gloss that actually really impressed me that I got recently is the e.l.f. and Alyssa Ashley lip gloss. This is just the most gorgeous, like warm toned lip gloss I've ever owned in my life, and it's so easy to wear. I literally line my lips with Jordana Tawny or Rimmel Spice, and then I put this all over, and yes, it doesn't last as long as any other product, but it just looks so nice and classy and sophisticated and pulls together as well. So I've not actually tried e.l.f. lip glosses before, and I hope this is like a new formula that they're doing with more colours, because the opacity of this is really nice as well. So I am a really big fan of this. And finally, last but not least, the tool that I've been loving from the drugstore to apply my foundation, which is very similar to the Beauty Blender, is the Eco Tool sponge. This comes in a pack of 2. The smaller one, don't like it at all, it's not very helpful, but this is amazing. The texture is very similar to the Beauty Blender. It's probably the most similar texture I found, and I really actually do like the fact that it's got a slanted edge, because it means you can easily get under the eyes, in the crevices of the face. You can bake with it as well. It's just brilliant, and I really hope that in 2018 Eco Tools comes out with these individually, and also makes it more easier to find out and about, because I have had to order these online. So yeah, I do really like this, and if you don't want to spend £16 on a Beauty Blender, this is probably the next best thing. Woohoo! And that is the end of my 2017 high street / drugstore makeup favourites. I hope you guys found this helpful and useful. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have decent makeup at all. It's just about really doing your research before you buy something and seeing what bloggers and YouTubers are saying about them, because you know, some things are amazing and they literally cost a couple of pounds, and some things are just not worth your money or time at all. I forgot to say this in my last video, but please do leave me your favourite makeup products of 2017 in the comments below. I'd really be interested to find out what you were loving. And thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos in 2018. I hope you have a lovely start to the new year, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!